Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for your excellent following and awesome response in terms of my podcast. As you all know, I have started this podcast for the benefit of society to discuss the issues related to health, education, and lifestyle. So, as a part of this initiative, the most important field is cybersecurity. Whatever we discuss is less in terms of cybersecurity. I feel so because this is a day-to-day evolving field, and the challenges are many. So we are seeing that a lot of artificial intelligence innovations are happening since last 2 years, and we are seeing a lot of new technologies coming into existence every day. And the cybersecurity resilience is becoming a big challenge for all the business leaders, for all the stakeholders, as well as customers. So, in this context, for the coming decade, what are the challenges that we are going to face, and what is the way to handle it? Is the most puzzle kind of question for all of us because we are all are using apps in these days. We are so much resilient on digital money. We are always using so much of internet. So this is all like digital world we are living in. So in this context, we have an eminent guest, Dr. G. Ramkumar, who is doing excellent in this field and has contributed a lot in terms of being a cybersecurity and risk leader and also certified corporate director, author of many books, mentor. He has won so many awards. He's a community builder. He's a visiting faculty and very active in LinkedIn as well. So today, I'm thankful to Dr. G. Ravikumar for accepting my invitation and sparing his valuable time to discuss this burning topic. What should we be in the coming 10 years in terms of cybersecurity and cybersecurity resilience? So thank you, Dr. G. Ravikumar, Dr. G. Ramkumar, for accepting my invitation and attending this session. Sir, can you kindly introduce yourself?
Sure. My pleasure. Thank you, Dr. Rajesh, for having me here. In fact, I'm very much honored to be on your podcast show. Very quickly to introduce myself, I'm Dr. Ram. I'm part of a global automotive company with their cybersecurity function. Overall, I have about 20 years experience in cybersecurity. So when I started, this domain was called information security, and it has evolved. And as is normal with any security professional, did all the certifications, and I worked across multiple industry verticals. So here I'm, and I'm happy to be part of this podcast. Over to you, Dr. Rajesh.
Thank you so much, Dr. G. Ram. So
You can
here,
call me Dr. Ram. That's good enough.
thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for that liberty. Thank you, Dr. Ram. Here, I wanted to know, like, we are seeing lots of AI innovations happening, and
Yeah.
the technology is emerging day by day. So, whenever it comes to cybersecurity, the technology that we are having to protect the data and applications seems to be not sufficient. So, what do you think about it, sir, in this context?
See, many people think if I get the right tech stack, the technology tools and platforms, then cybersecurity is taken care. It is not so. There is no silver bullet when it comes to technology solutions. If anyone thinks technology can solve their cybersecurity problem, it means they don't understand technology nor security. This is something Bruce Schneier has said many years ago. I'm just using the same. The point is, you need a combination of people, process, and technology to combat the modern threats, cyber threats, because the threat landscape is evolving, and we all know how human vulnerability is being exploited by social engineering. And today, in the era of AI, deepfakes, the phishing attacks have become very hyper real. You can't use a traditional phishing detection systems to detect the social engineering attacks, and uh, weak passwords are still a pain, though we do have multi-factor authentication, right? And people can also be foolish to divulge their passwords because the phishing link look very real, right? Very genuine. So in these kind of things, then you need to have a very comprehensive security strategy that involves the human factor, especially when you look at the human aspect, the people aspect as a first line of defense with proper training, timely, relevant training, and make training fun, and also with robust policies that you need to implement. And more importantly, the culture, security culture is very important. All this will complement very strong technology tools and platform. So the key thing here is having a holistic view of utilizing all aspects of security. You're not looking only into technology.
Well said. Here, in this context, I wanted to know what mindset should the organization should have to protect their data and application in the coming next 10 years.
Yeah, next 10 years looks exciting, especially with all the evolution in AI technology, quantum computing, and so on. Even recently, I just read a report that one of the early pioneers of AI is saying AI can actually, form their own language, and they can, outsmart humans, and that's pretty dangerous. Now, coming to the mindset change or mindset shift for all organizations, one is how best they can utilize the emerging technologies for their benefit. And again, one key thing is the data breach is a given today, right? We all work under the assumption the breach will happen. So it's not the question of if, but it's a question of when. If not today, tomorrow or the day after, we might be breached. So with that mindset, you need to work towards putting in place a strong cyber resilience, so that business will continue even in the face of disruption with minimal downtime without impacting your operational deliveries and customer deliverables in a big way. And of course, keeping a strong eye on the revenue, the bottom line. And again, another key mindset shift I'm foreseeing is being reactive, from being reactive to being proactive. So having a proactive and agile mindset is very important in today's dynamic threat landscape. So that would actually help in continuous monitoring of our of the systems, infrastructure, applications for latest threats, and also having continuous scanning for and testing. You have red teaming. Now, red teaming has evolved for even AI red teaming also is there. So these kind of exercises can actually help us to handle new attack vectors. The other key thing is around embracing a zero trust philosophy. So the traditional perimeters, it's changing a lot. The enterprise ecosystem has expanded. So zero trust philosophy revolves around this dictum: never trust, always verify. So this is whether it's a philosophy. It's not just one platform that you uh, you know incorporate in your organization. Then zero trust is not going to happen. It is a continuous activity. It is a continuous philosophy. So whether you put in place a ZTNA, network architecture, tighten your authentication systems, whatever it has to be in this framework. And other key thing is looking at security as a business enabler. One part of this is, of course, we spoke about culture of security, how strong and robust and positive it can be, and looking at securing the human factor, that is very important. So when you talk about business enabler, security plays a very critical role in terms of yeah, enabling the organization to compete globally because they are already secure. They have something tangible to showcase to potential clients that they are having the necessary security controls in place, certifications to certain standards, and compliance to regulations. All of them give a very strong sense of confidence to potential customers, potential clients. And having a very strong security posture builds confidence of customers, trust, and help the company to protect their brand reputation. And of course, the business can boldly adopt new technologies and pursue digital transformation journey very confidently. So that's my take on this question.
Well said, Dr. Bam. Here, in this context, I wanted to know we have cybersecurity leaders who always align their strength and strategies with digital transformation goals.
Yep.
So from the very beginning, so how can they enhance this kind of strategies with this digital transformation goals?
Yeah, so primarily you were looking at security as a proactive function. You incorporate security with your digital transformation goals, which in turn aligns with the organization goals. End of the day, a security function works for business goals, not the other way around. So it has to be fully cognizant of where the organization is going, what is the ultimate objective they would want to achieve. So around that, your security strategy has to be aligned. And of course, becoming a business enabler, the security leaders, specifically the CISO, must move beyond having a very defensive mindset and probably position them as partners in the innovation game, right? So you have to speak the business language with the C-suite, that is the board of directors and the senior management, so that they understand, the board and the senior leadership understands how important it is to protect data, protect infrastructure, and staying compliant with the regulations, and how it helps in improving their revenue, brand reputation, and customer trust. So they have to come out with a mindset that security is actually a cost center. They just spend money, but they have to see the value security function brings in. The CISO has a very strong role to play in this, right? And the other key thing is adopting security by design, right? So these principles are very important when whether you develop a new product or service. Security is there throughout, and security has to be built in, not bolted on later. Security has to be baked in the process, and it cannot be an afterthought, right? So this includes right from the requirement stage. When they look at security requirements, they involve the security team, do threat modeling, then they perform assessment, right? And they perform, in case there is application development, they bring in secure code reviews. So even before that, they have to train the teams for secure code development, how the training has to happen. Then the secure coding, then secure code reviews. Then you have vulnerability scanning, and finally you deploy it in a secure way, right? You would do the pen testing, and after you get a go ahead, then the applications have to be deployed securely. So this needs a security by design for principles to be incorporated. And also, security is not one department's job to make it successful. Of course, the CISO's team is tasked with that, but very important, it has to get up, go ahead approval and cooperation from a cross-functional teams, right? Or then only it makes things work. So clear communication channels and shared vision and shared ownership is very critical. Beyond this, adopt a risk-based approach towards security, because given the the size of the organization and the assets they have, it's impossible for protecting, securing all data that they have, all systems. So it has to be risk-based approach so that you can prioritize where your efforts and focus should be in putting in place the required security controls, right, and securing the valuable assets and clear line of lines of communication along with accountability. Who's the owner of the data? All that have to be defined. In the sense, if you own the data, if you own the system and infrastructure, you own the risk. So that's a very matured way of doing. So you can adopt three lines of defense from the governance point of view. So beyond this, security's first culture or security centric culture also helps a lot, right? So I think this covers how leaders, security leaders, can align their security strategies with digital transformation goals, right?
Well said, Dr. Ram. So you were mentioning about the security culture. So related to that, I have one question. So
Hmm.
what kind of strategies does the leaders or the culture in the organization should be there to ensure the long-term cybersecurity resilience in the organization?
Yeah, it's a very good question. So culture is basically collective mindset, right, where you share values and behaviors of the organization, and it can be a single greatest factor to enhancing the cybersecurity resilience. So there's a saying by Peter Drucker, management guru. He says that culture can, will eat strategy for breakfast, right? You may have very carefully planned security strategy, roadmaps and plans, but if the company's organization's culture is rotten, where people are not open-minded, there is no trust, and try to push things under the carpet. There is a kind of fear of retribution if you report security incidents, and the way the management treats security violation between a junior employee and a senior employee, between a native and a expat, all of this matters a lot. And also, whether quantum of punishment they give for these folks is again a matter of concern. More importantly, the leadership by example. So they want everyone to, for example, their USB ports endpoints have to be blocked, but the management has free access. So that's what kind of messaging are you sending, right? So when you empower employees as first line of defense, right, by making a very security aware culture where every employee sees value in adopting best practices to protect data, and they'll be smarter and not fall prey to all these phishing attacks in the age of AI. As I said, today's phishing campaigns are very hyper realistic, and only way is key. One of the key ways is to train the employees in situational awareness and the modern attack techniques adopted by the hackers. And the other thing is, as I said, the accountability and trust should be there. The environment has to be very open and transparent, where the staff is comfortable reporting security incidents, violations, or their own lapses. So without feeling of fear or retribution or reprisal, right? So this is very important, and you need to also reduce human error, right? Very resilient culture focus is more on making things better and avoid all these anomalies as much as possible. So your company's or organization's ability to protect itself, it's not just about the technology stack and the tools they have. It's about the security culture they create and the leadership that champions it. So the leadership is very critical. They have to set an example, lead by example, and provide tangible and visible support to the security team's efforts. So their messaging goes very clearly to all the workforce that security is very important, right? In today's era of compliance, it is all the more critical, right? So I think that answers your question.
Yes, absolutely. So, Dr. Ram, you already mentioned about reactive way and proactive way of handling the cyber attacks.
Yeah,
So let us assume if the organizations presently are in the reactive mode, how long will it take to convert them to proactive mode in the best possible manner, and what is the strategy to be adopted?
yeah. Again, this is not an easy thing. Reactive to proactive needs mind shift change and fundamental changes you need to make in how people view, especially the senior top leadership, because the tone at the top is very important. And just instead of responding to threats after a breach, the leadership should make it a habit of having continuous process, intelligence driven process to anticipate and mitigate risks. So that means they need to inculcate this culture right from the top, where they support security initiatives, where the team tasked with security is empowered, right? So primarily we are looking at, when it comes to strategy, how you set up a risk based foundation. So primarily you're looking at uh, having a strong, robust inventory of all your assets, critical assets, and classify them as per the criticality or severity, how critical that asset is for the organization's mission, and conducting continuous risk assessments. Right, today we are in the era of continuous risk assessments. Gone are the days when people used to do quarterly assessment and all, or even now there are organizations that does only annual assessment and they don't do anything beyond that. So it has to be continuous, and the risk assessment results have to be acted upon. So primarily your risk response strategies have to come in play, right, to make it to reduce the risk. The other key thing is how do you implement your predictive and preventive measures. So the only way to do is leverage your cyber threat intelligence platform, right? So that can give you a lot of insights and help you to identify new attack vectors, new vulnerabilities, new tactics, techniques, and procedures adopted by the cyber criminals. Latest malware campaigns or ransomware campaigns done by these APT groups, all of them you can actually leverage through your strong threat intel, and you can take appropriate measures, defensive measures to protect against these threats. Then, of course, you can also leverage your security by design we just discussed, and pen testing and vulnerability management also helps a lot. And we already spoke about zero trust architecture. So when we speak about this topic, how you can become reactive to proactive, definitely zero trust architecture plays a very critical role. So we work under the assumption that we are already breached. So that proactive mindset helps a long way in identifying, the best practices and weaknesses, and then bolstering it, and enforcing strict access controls. So again, under the zero trust model, we are or talk about how do you tighten your access controls, not just for human users, even non-human identities, devices, service accounts included, right? Beyond this, again, we'll have to come back to having a very security conscious culture. So continuous training. Again, training has to be fun, gamified, interesting, relevant, and frequent. Because today we are dealing with a workforce that is largely different from others, in the sense they are Gen Z generation, right? So when the Gen Z folks come, if you do a plain Jane PowerPoint presentation, it's not going to help. So you have to make ways and means how you can make them involved using fun activities and stuff, and foster a very open and accountable environment. That is one way to improve your security culture, or sustain a security culture which is positive. So by making these strategic shifts, I believe an organization can transition from being a firefighting mode, crisis-driven security, and from being a reactive one to a proactive one.
Well said. That is right. training should be very fun kind of training, and it should
Yeah,
make the employees involved, because training makes a lot of difference in the way the employees pursue the things. You have
true.
rightly told. And in this context, we all know that AI has evolved like anything. AI is replacing so many jobs. So, how is AI reshaping our cyber threats and cyber defense?
Yeah, AI is basically reshaping, it goes into the fundamentals of cyber security landscape. Two fronts. AI is a double-edged sword. One is it's a very powerful tool for cyber defenders. It offers a lot of use cases for cyber security defense, and at the same time, it is also very useful for the bad guys, the cyber attackers. So that way, it is a high stakes arms race, you can call. It's very continuous, and both the sides are using AI to outmaneuver each other. Now, how AI helps in improving or enhancing the cyber defenses? Today, the speed and the scale, has gone mind-boggling. That thanks to AI, the amount of technologies they deploy, to tools and techniques they deploy for hackers deploy leveraging AI, that goes in huge, humongous scale and speed. So one is threat detection. You can utilize AI systems. It can analyze vast amounts of data from the network traffic to say user behavior in real time. That's a highlight, and also identify anomalies and help to fix them. And the other important thing is automating incident response. Today, AI powered or AI enabled security tools and platforms are available. They offer how you can automate your routine security tasks and filtering alerts, isolating infected systems, block malicious traffic, all of that. And importantly, you can automate and speed up your incident response from hours to days. Manual human-led effort, it was more time consuming, but with AI it is reducing potential damage due to a cyber incident very much. And predictive threat intel is again another area where AI is being used in big way, where you can analyze tons of global threat data and past incidents and vulnerabilities, and you can use it for predicting where the next attack is going to come from. Right? This enables organizations to be on the guard and take proactive security measures. And of course, when you handle too much of data, it's prone to human error, fatigue, and boredom, monotony, carelessness. So the workload increases, then AI definitely can help it automate, right, and repetitive tasks, and deploy valuable human resources on more strategic tasks, right? So this is on the defender part. Now, as I said, for the hackers also, they weaponize AI systems. It is used as a tool and medium for carrying out cyber attacks. Specifically, we are talking about polymorphic malware. They're very evasive. You cannot use traditional systems for detecting polymorphic malware because it keeps evolving, and the traditional signature-based tools are not good enough, right? And the sophistication and the scale of attacks has increased. So today, for instance, a Gen AI can produce highly convincing and personalized phishing emails. Right? I was talking about hyper-real phishing attacks are happening. Deepfakes, we have seen enough instances in the media. Right? All these social engineering campaigns are unprecedented today. So unless we have AI-enabled tools to handle them, traditional tools are not going to be effective. And hacking has been automated, right? So earlier we were in the era of script kiddies with people with low tech skills. They were given scripts. Now even that is being automated, right? AI powered tools are there for the disposal of the bad threat actors, and they are developing exploit kits and stuff using AI, and they can target and execute attacks. That's again mind-boggling. And the volume and speed has increased. That is another area of concern. where it's impossible for human effort based attacks. So today we are in the era of AI versus AI, right? Because of AI is being used for good purposes like cyber defense and for bad purposes like cyber attacks. Today we are in the era of AI and AI versus AI. And in this scenario, it is all the more important who wins. The good guys win over the bad guys, right? So that means the technology has to keep pace and it has to outsmart the threat actors, right? So that's my take on this.
Well said, Dr. Ram. That is AI versus AI, very new buzzword you have designed in this podcast. Good to know about that. That is true also.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
here, yeah. So here I wanted to know, like, we have discussed about this attacks and all. So how the CASOs should think about AI-powered attacks? Like you know about deepfakes, you know about phishing. You already mentioned about it. You have this adversarial AI-related
yeah.
issues. So how the CASOs should be prepared in the next coming 10 years?
Yeah, 10 years is a long shot. You never know what's going to happen in the next 6 months. The pace with which the technology is changing, evolving, it's all the more crazy. So 10 years is very long, but still, I'll try to attempt to answer. Uh, See, as the bad actors are weaponizing AI, the defenders, led by CISOs, must also adapt to having different strategies from being a reactive to proactive that we already spoke, and have a multi-layered attack approach towards cyber defense. So the key to preparing for AI-powered attacks, like what you said, the deep fakes or automated phishing or adversarial AI, it's very important. It lies in the combination of technology, innovation, and also enhanced employee awareness through very innovative ways to inculcate awareness and a robust governance framework. So these three combo is going to actually save the day, hopefully. And it's again a continuing battle. So how do you upgrade your technology uh, uh, stack with AI powered defenses? Today, you have a lot of vendors who are offering AI enabled or AI powered platforms. So that has to be leveraged because you want to fight AI. You are living in the era of AI. Traditional tools are no longer good enough. So that's why you have to go for a complete upgrade for, say, threat detection, even for behavioral analytics, for we have concept of UBA, right? User and entity behavior. So all these things, AI does a very good job, and integrated automation, right? Today, our SOR platforms, SIM, they all become very much, smarter and more through agentic AI platforms, right? So you don't have to have L1, L2 that's scary from the human aspect, but it is offering a lot more benefits for the organization. So you don't have the uh, issues with people forgetting to assign the ticket, or they getting a delay that by in turn it expands the window of exposure. All those issues are not there. You don't have to worry about licensing. All these things with agentic AI and automation, it is possible, and with more accuracy. Second thing is, we spoke about promoting and fostering a very strong, robust, security culture. So here it's about continuous and adaptive training, right? Training has to be very useful. It has to be having the latest technologies and latest tactics adopted by the bad guys. So that way, it has to be a live program, and focus on verification process. So again, that is very important. So today we have business email compromise attacks start targeting finance, procurement, CEOs, and the top management. So they should have a verification process for high risk action. Suddenly you get the procurement guy gets a message stating, please start a process for paying the vendor urgently. and then in good faith they think it has come from the CEO or CFO, and then go to the finance for approval. And finance also does the money transfer and put go into the fake account, right? So there should be ways in which you have a secondary channel where you can check with them and see whether it is really authentic, right? And also, it's very important to foster a culture of skepticism. So whenever requests like this come, people should not immediately fall for it, not get excited about it, right? So should have whenever anything that has a sense of urgency means it is has to be suspicious. So people should be trained how we can actually detect these red flags whenever such requests happen, right? And beyond this, when we talk about implementing a very strong governance for data protection, you need to adopt AI governance frameworks, right? There are a few frameworks already there. You can look at risk management framework from NAST for AI. Google also has got a framework, right? So any of which you can use it, and importantly, the AI tech stack has to be secure. Because a lot of attacks targeting AI systems, like data poisoning, model theft, and stuff are happening. It's very important. We also, when we talk about this aspect on robust governance, importantly, the note discussion will be complete without talking about zero trust adoption. So again, it comes boils down to having a strong zero trust story, right? And so these three aspects, as I was talking about, technology upgrade, enhancing security culture, and implementing robust governance for data protection. These three aspects will actually make things happen for the CISO on handling AI powered attacks.
So here in this context, I have one more related doubt, Dr. Ram. The thing is that we are over automating the things by using artificial intelligence. So
Yeah.
over automating security related aspects with artificial intelligence, is it not going to be risky for the organization?
Yes, yes. If you don't have a human oversight, it is definitely going to bring in significant risk. So definitely there should be a strong oversight and a kill switch also, so that AI systems don't take over. So while AI is a very powerful tool for scaling security, it is not a perfect solution as a substitute for human judgment. So that we need to keep in mind. Human expertise is very much important. You can't outsource the human judgment and expertise to AI systems. So what happens is the key risks when you over automate to think that AI can do everything. It brings in a false sense of security that is very dangerous. People can become very complacent and say that AI systems are there in place, the tool will do, right? That is very risky. And you will also miss the context and critical thinking, right? Because AI has its own limitations, they lack the human intuition, right? So that's where human analysts can actually differentiate between what is benign activity that looks suspicious and a genuine threat that could actually be uh, on the basis of business context. It could actually be very risky for the organization. So also you'll have to factor in the adversarial AI attacks. You already spoke about this. How adversarial AI brings in a lot of risks for the organization. We spoke about evasive attacks, right? Then prompt engineering, then poisoning the data, right? All of these are very so. When you have over automation, then without human checks, these are all very risky. And alert fatigue and false positives. That's again impacts your human employees, right? So if AI system is configured to or designed to reduce the volume of alerts, poorly configured or over automated systems can pose a different set of challenges with high number of false positives, and it could give the security folks who are monitoring alert fatigue, right? they become desensitized to the alerts, and it can actually impact in a big way. And uh, human expertise becomes reduced because you over automate, and you don't need people to look into. That's again impacts on the uh, human factors ability to use their expertise on critical aspects, right? So I think all these factors are key risks, right? When you over automate security operations with AI.
Exactly, sir. That is well said. And here I wanted to know what skills and roles will be most critical in the cybersecurity workforce. We know that existing skills are there, existing workforce is there to
Hmm.
protect the organizational resources. But in future, in the coming next 10 years,
Hmm.
what skills will be needed more? What kind of workforce is needed more for the organization to protect themselves?
Yeah, the most critical skills moves beyond the traditional defense. Already, we are looking at SOC enabled by agentic AI. So L1, L2 jobs are on the way out, right? So the future is AI and machine learning as we speak today. So security professionals need to be proficient in usage of AI technologies. It's not just confined to being users of AI powered tools or AI enabled platforms, but they also need to be experts who understand and manage AI risks, right? So we need to understand how AI driven threat detection happens, and adversarial AI defense, data science for security, all these new age domains people have to master. Then cloud and infra security is another area. So as part of digital transformation initiatives, most companies are going for you know, cloud environment. Cloud adoption is very high. So how do you secure the cloud? That is very important. Cloud native security is very coming up in a big way. And DevSecOps, right? So how do you integrate security into the SDLC? Again, that is security is baked and not bolted on as an afterthought. That is again important thing. The third one I would say is the threat intel and hunting, right? So having a proactive approach towards actively seeking threats rather than waiting for an alert. This is a very key skill. So you need a lot of threat intel analysis skills, right? How do you analyze data and data points on emerging threats, understand the patterns and attacker tactics and vulnerabilities to bolster your cyber defense strategy. And threat hunters, right? These people hunt threats, and they look for signs of malicious activity, and which may be bypassed by automated systems, right? So threat hunters are also very critical. Beyond this, one undervalued a domain is GRC, governance, risk, and compliance, because with a lot of regulations getting complex and stricter globally, GRC will act as a bridge between security and the business. So you need a lot more people who have knowledge of regulations, right? For example, the EUAA Act, and of course, traditional privacy related regulations like GDPR, right? And risk management. You need to translate technical risks into business language, business risk, which is understood by the C suite, comprising of the board, and quantify them in dollar value, dollar terms, and explain why the risk is critical and what needs to be done for remediation so that you secure the funding and resources. So these are the technical areas. Beyond this, soft skills is very important as we go along with business acumen. So it's about the communication. It's about the connect you have with the stakeholders. That makes a lot of difference. And critical thinking and problem solving, ability to learn, absorb, and then come out with strategies, out of the box thinking, and leadership and collaboration. Can't work as a siloed organization. You need to connect and collaborate with all stakeholders, and how you take along everyone, that is very important, right? We have to become a generalist, understand other for other stakeholders' priorities and their motivations when you push for security first culture, right? So the future, it's all about AI security, then the security architecting, whether it is zero trust or DevSecOps or cloud, all these skills are getting important. Then incident response and digital forensics, that is again critical. And ultimately the leadership, CISO role who are playing, the kind of they evolve from being a technical leader to a strategic business leader, right? So these are the new roles also will be emerging in the future.
The advice that you want to give to the current generation CASOs and the other leaders who are working in the organization so that they will be highly cyber resilient in the coming next 10 years? What should be their vision in this aspect?
Yeah, one single important piece of advice if you're asking for organizations which is aiming or aspiring to build a very robust cyber resilience is to treat cybersecurity as a fundamental business function and not as a technical IT problem, right? So this means moving beyond traditional reactive mindset of simply buying some tools and deploying. I spent $1 million, so I'm secure. That kind of mindset, and understand the dynamics involved, the threat scenario, the risks facing the organization, and how you can embed culture of security to the organization's DNA. So it has to be a top-down approach, right? So leaders will have to put in their weight behind cybersecurity, and they should be the champions for security best practices and initiatives, and they'll have to drive the change, right? The senior leadership. And of course, security culture is the strongest defense. Technology plays a very critical role, but human vigilance is all the more important, and it will be most resilient defense, right? So fostering that security conscious work culture is a very critical, where your staff understands the role in protecting your organization's assets, right? So I think focus should be on resilience, not just prevention. So when you are truly resilient, even when there is a disruptive activity or an incident, still you will have the capability to carry on with minimal downtime and deliver the goods, right? So in essence, I would say all these factors are very important for management or organization to be very cyber resilient and have a strong focus on data protection.
So well said, Dr. Ram. So that is it, dear audience. You came to know how we should be well prepared for the coming risks in the coming days. Dr. Ram has really given us lots of insights, valuable sessions, and his knowledge is being totally explored in this podcast. And the most important thing is we may have firewalls, we may have antivirus, we may have so much of tools in place, but the ultimate thing is the cyber attack is more smarter and more AI enabled in these days. So we have to be much more smarter. That is the moral of the story. So
Yep.
on this positive note, thinking that all good things will happen and our organizations will be highly secured, hoping that. Thank you so much, Dr. Ram, for sparing your valuable time and giving us valuable insights. It was very much pleasure to talk to you. Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure. Thanks, Dr. Rajesh, for having me here. I hope the session was useful. See you in another episode soon. Thank
Thank
you so
you
much.
so much, Dr. Ram. Yeah, thank you.
Signing off now. Bye.